Hey guys, what is up? Bring96 here, and well, if you've seen my last video, the audio on my GoPro stopped working, or the cable that plugged into the mic has stopped working, but the mic still works. So that's what I'm using now, and I'm recording a voiceover with it. So today we're going over to Z Shed Midlands to see Tony again to replace my oil filter housing gasket and do a quick oil change. First we begin by removing the airbox and the inlet hose to create more room in the engine bay. You do this by loosening the clamps on the inlet hose. Then there are 3 clips around the airbox that you remove. This takes the lid off, and then there are 3 screws that hold the box in. Then take the lid, air filter and airbox and put it all to one side. Then jack the car up so you can get underneath and drain the oil. Using an oil filter socket or wrench, loosen the oil filter housing lid. This allows for oil to drain into the oil pan below. If you don't do this, you'll leave about a litre of old engine oil behind. Then undo the sump plug with a 17mm socket. Unscrew the sump plug by hand until the oil comes through. Now you can completely unscrew and remove the old oil filter, ready for it to be changed and put back. Now I remove the 2 13mm power steering mounting fasteners. Once the fasteners are removed, lift the power steering pump up and off the engine. You can pull it up and put it to the left, outside and out of the way. Take a picture of this pulley setup so you can refer to it when you put it back. Use a small flathead screwdriver to remove the tensioner dust cap. To release tension on the belt, use a 16mm socket to rotate the tensioner counterclockwise and slide the alternator belt off. Disconnect the battery so you can safely remove the alternator. Working at the alternator bracket, remove 4 13mm bolts. It's helpful to mark the bolt location before removing, as they are different lengths. Looking at the front of the alternator bracket, next to the tensioner, remove 1 13mm bolt. Then you can remove the alternator from the engine. Now you can remove the 6 10mm bolts for the oil filter housing. The washers on the bolt won't fall off, so don't worry about losing them in the engine bay. There is also a bolt on the front of the engine in between the 2 pulleys, which is also attached to the oil filter housing. Be sure to remove this. Behind the oil filter housing, you can disconnect the oil pressure sensor, press the wire release tab and pull the connector straight off. Once the bolts have been removed, lift the housing off the engine. Make sure your drain pan is in the right place, as oil will leak down the side of the engine. Here we can see some tears in the gasket, so this is probably where it was leaking from. Interestingly enough, it seems like someone's done this job before, but they've put silicone wrap instead of replacing the O-rings on the bush. Give the bush a clean. You can either replace the O-rings, or if you buy the bush itself, it comes with the O-rings already in place. Next, we go sump plug hunting. It's the best job of the entire day. Now that everything is off the car, we can start putting stuff back on. Here we have Tony delicately removing the O-rings from the oil filter. Replace the filter, put the O-rings back on, and you're ready to reinstall it into the car. Screw the sump plug back in by hand, and then tighten it up with a wrench. Thoroughly clean the sealing surface of the oil filter housing. Make sure none of the paper gasket falls inside the crankcase. Whilst the oil filter housing is off the car, take the time to clean it as well as you can. Remember to thoroughly clean the sealing surface as well. Now for putting it all back together. Start with the bush, this is the easiest one to do. Next, grease up the paper gasket and carefully place it back on the sealing surface on the engine. Once you've done this, lubricate the oil filter housing bush hole so that it slides on and doesn't damage the rubber. Once you've done this, reinstall the oil filter housing. Evenly tighten the bolts in a crisscross pattern. Screw in the new oil filter. Plug in the oil pressure sensor. Then reinstall the alternator. Put the belt back onto its pulley, and then bolt down the power steering reservoir and reinstall the airbox. Then remember to fill up your oil. So with everything tightened up and filled up, we started the car. The car ran extremely well, took it for a drive, and it ran perfectly. I can't thank Tony enough for his help at Z Sheds Midlands, and a big shout out and thanks to everyone on the Z Roaster forum, zroaster.org, who helped me when I had the leak and told me what it, and this was months ago, and I've just gotten around to doing it. If you have a Z, go check them out because they have extreme wealth of knowledge and everyone there is super welcoming and happy to help out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, maybe it's helped you, and I will see you guys in the next video.